Hey YouTube, it's Rob. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I've been doing some brewing and I wanted to share my brewing on YouTube and to play a game with it. So I set out a challenge for myself, which was to build a mono blue deck that could compete. And the other sort of idea was I definitely didn't want merfolk or fairies. So it's got to be mono blue. Um, it's got to be competitive, and it cannot be a tribal deck. And the idea behind this particular deck is this thing I want to be able to slot in the Thassa, God of the Sea, when Theros comes live, because I think that Thassa is a really good card. I think it's playable in modern. I'm not getting too much support, surprisingly. Everybody's up and down about Swan Song. I don't really see it as that great of a card. Definitely not for a mono blue. Swan Song for like maybe a Splinter Twin, or maybe like a USA tempo mid range scenario, something like that, maybe. But anyway, so moving on. So I just kind of threw it together. This is my brewing process here. So I wanted to kind of show you a little bit on what the things that I look at when I brew. I want it weighted heavily, uh, for the 1 and 2 cc's, because I feel like it's a quicker form. Like, I need to be able to respond and establish something quickly. Um, and I also have a good amount, like, you can sort of group this 2 into this 10. This is like my 4 and 5 cc slot. That's my finishers. Um, and my cryptic commands in there is kind of like the blue wrath, as they call it. And 3 cc is my click. So the 3 to 5, these are my finishers. The 1 to 2, these are my setup and controls. So that's what I've got going on here. And the Delver is sort of a finisher too. So it gets a little murky. I've got my Snapcasters. Basic idea: play critters when it's opportune time. Um, Slow them down / counterspell their other stuff, and finish them off with the Jaces and the Timeo. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've never actually played with Timeo. Um, I bought 3 copies of her a long, long time ago, and I've never actually used her, so this will be my first time using her. Um, so there you go. I'm running Venzer in here. I think he'll be good with the Thassa. So he's another reason. He's kind of a cool card anyway, especially now with the new legendary rule. I like that. I like his ability. It's like, I don't know, kind of like he's a boomerang plus a flash critter. So it's like, I don't know, you get a 2-for-1 kind of, and no one ever expects him. And he can hit any permanent too, not just and he's permanent and any spell. So it's useful. He's cool. Um, Alrighty, so let's just test it out. I'm just sort of running out there. I'll skip to my match start, and my match started like 1 second after I said that. So here we go. First game with this deck. Okay. Not too bad of a hand. I will keep this. I'm running Dispels here, main deck. I feel like it's a really good spell. Serum Visions. Delver. It's the UWR. Alrighty. Kind of not great for him to get that Delver turn 1. He doesn't flip it turn 1 at least. So I got that going for me. Swing for your 1. We didn't get a land. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, it's kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. I don't like to test when they're straight up land screwed. It sort of gives you skewed results. It's got the spell pierce now. Okay. That means he didn't draw a land, of course. Okay. Now I get my own Delver. The question is, what do I want to do with this? I think in his draw, I will use my click. No, I won't. I'll dispel that. Gets his land. I gotta deal with that thing. I can play my Delver here. He's got the spell stutter coming out. I'll remand that. He's still got the spell pierce, but as I get more and more lands, it's less and less useful. Yeah, I'll reveal that. Flip it. That helps me. Oh, what? With the rage quit on the first game. Really? With the rage quit? Okay, well, chalk that up to poor sportsmanship. They don't like to play against Dispel. But you know what? I actually chose Dispel over Mana Leak here for a couple reasons. One, I like that it's 1cc. And I love that it's a hard counter. We don't have too many hard counters. We have a lot of those spell pierce mana leak type of effects. We don't have too many of these. And this gets so much relevant stuff. It's like all the combat tricks, all of the counter spells, all of the, most of the burn. This counters a lot of relevant spells in the format. A lot of stuff that you want countered, this will do for 1cc, no questions asked. So I feel like it's superior to Spell Snare by a long ways, and I feel it's superior to Spell Pierce by a good amount. Spell Pierce gets any non-creature, but it's far from a hard counter. So we've got that. We've got the old Vapor Snag in here. I think in a lot of ways, this is like the blue, this and the Unsummons are kind of like Blue's version of Path to Exile. It definitely, people don't run them too much, but I think they have a lot of value to Blue. It bounces they kill hands. Remands, Vapor Snags. It's like you take all these times, like you just go directly into the late game, and they're never able to set up their position, and by the time they're able to set up their position, you've already got pieces in place. You've got your Click or your Delver. Maybe you've got one of your finishers online. This is a question mark. I'm not sold on him, but I haven't had a chance to play him yet. So I'll let you know right now that this is questionable. I may be able to find something better and tighten this list up. But I also want the permanent. This will give me 2 devotion to Blue, so that may be relevant later on. Anyway, so that's okay. This is my first outing with the deck. I get the rage quit, and there'll be more videos on this to come.